кожаный телефон промерз просто. Как еще объяснишь? Наверное, может так и будет. Дорогие предприятия. Мерзла.
Здравствуйте, на телеканале «Россия Вести» в студии Ирина Русиус и главные темы к этому часу. Новый разговор Путина и Байдена Кремль подтвердил. Все темы разговора лидеров России и США не раскрываются, но известно, что президенты точно коснутся темы расширения НАТО. Молодежный чемпионат мира по хоккею отменили из-за ковида, а в ВОЗ заявили, что коронавирусное цунами может привести к краху системы здравоохранения во всем мире. «Калибр» точно поразила цель в 1000 километров от точки запуска. На Дальнем Востоке прошли учения на новейшей подлодке Петропавловск-Камчатский. Экс-подруга Эпштейна признана виновной в сексуальной эксплуатации несовершеннолетних. Елена Максвелл может провести в тюрьме 65 лет. И захватывающая история о самом драматичном поединке за всю историю шахмат. В широкий прокат выходит лента «Чемпион мира». Мир в ожидании новых переговоров лидеров России и США и в Кремле, и в Белом доме уже подтвердили телефонный разговор Владимира Путина и Джо Байдена состоится сегодня поздно вечером. Для прессы он будет закрытым, но обозначено время звонка за полчаса до полуночи. Все темы заранее не раскрываются. Известно только, что президенты обсудят предстоящее дипломатическое взаимодействие России и США. На 10 января назначена первая встреча представителей двух стран по гарантиям безопасности. Москва настаивает на юридическом закреплении того, что НАТО прекратит свое расширение на восток, в том числе и военное освоение территории Украины. Ковид-глобулин получил постоянную регистрацию Минздрава. Это российский препарат для лечения коронавируса. Он создан на основе плазмы крови людей, уже перенесших заболевание, и содержит антитела. Лекарство поможет организму побороть инфекцию и не допустить осложнений. Ну а для профилактики коронавируса в ближайшее время будет выпущена еще одна вакцина в назальном исполнении. Уже 15 января в России стартует набор добровольцев для ее исследования. По словам директора центра имени Гамалеи Александра Гинзбурга, участие в нем примут как вакцинированные, так и нет. Прививка по-прежнему единственный шанс надежно защитить организм от опасного вируса. В Севастополе уровень коллективного иммунитета уже приближается к 100%. Это позволило смягчить коронавирусные ограничения к новогодним каникулам. Репортаж Яны Щербатой.
Музеи Севастополя открывают свои двери абсолютно для всех посетителей. Теперь, чтобы попасть на территорию, достаточно предоставить билет, QR-код больше не нужен. Но остальные ковидные ограничения действовать продолжают. По-прежнему нужно носить...
Папа, смотри. Дом рупаки. Кино, ТВ и интернет.
Маме интересно многое. А Игорю интересно подарить то, что понравится маме. Но как понять, что именно? Подарите Яндекс.Мод, ставьте его в телевизор и подключите к Wi-Fi.
Алиса, что мне посмотреть? Нужно носить маску и соблюдать социальную дистанцию. Для музеев, что находятся в помещениях, есть дополнительные требования. Нашу экспозицию мы все-таки будем пускать ограниченное количество, как и мы это делали ранее. 15-20 человек максимум в группах.
В преддверии Нового года в Севастополе сняли часть ограничений. Электронные сертификаты больше не нужны посетителям кафе, ресторанов, торговых центров и других общественных заведений. Вход теперь свободный, но и прежние требования у большинства жителей проблем не вызывали.
QR-код у меня уже давно, разница существенно не сыграла.
Изменения коснулись туристов. Им при заселении в гостиницу города электронный сертификат тоже больше не нужен.
Мы селим всех, кто к нам хочет приехать. А таких очень много гостей, которые хотят приехать, но не могли приехать, потому что не было у них сертификата.
Отмена ограничений – результат вакцинации. Власти Севастополя утверждают, коллективный иммунитет в городе сформировался. Более 91% жителей сделали прививку.
Более младшего возраста еще думают, да нас не коснется. Вот чтобы не коснулось, надо привиться и жить спокойно.
Захотел на елку пойти на Новый год, пошел на елку. Нация должна быть здоровой.
Основная масса жителей района и не только привиты. Сейчас идет, конечно, массовая уже ревакцинация людей, переболевших, получивших ранее по 2 прививки.
Падает и заболеваемость почти в 2 раза. В городе сокращают количество ковидных коек.
Если человек привит и поступает, ему нужна кислородная поддержка, как правило, они уходят отсюда через неделю. Те, кто не привиты, кому нужна кислородная поддержка, у них, несмотря на проводимое лечение, может наблюдаться ухудшение.
В Крыму требования тоже смягчают. В общественные места теперь можно пройти без электронного сертификата. Он необходим только при заселении в гостиницы и санатории. Но это временно. Вернуть ограничения власти обещают уже 20 января. И до тех пор, пока привитых не будет больше 80%. Яна Щербада, Андрей Терентьев, Никита Каченко и Дмитрий Федорченко. Вести. Крым. Из-за коронавируса Международная федерация хоккея отменила молодежный чемпионат мира, который проходил в Канаде. Решение принято после положительного теста у российского спортсмена. Вирус обнаружен у лучшего снайпера нашей команды Матвея Мечкова. Россиянам засчитали техническое поражение в матче со Словакией, а ранее коронавирусом заразились хоккеисты США и Чехии, и продолжать турнир стало практически невозможно. В Федерации хоккея России заявили, что разделяют заботу организаторов о здоровье хоккеистов. Отмененный чемпионат планируют провести заново, возможно, летом 2022 года. Резкое похолодание ожидается в новогодние дни сразу в нескольких регионах России. На Сахалине будет минус 50, а жителям Якутии стоит готовиться и вовсе к 60-градусным морозам. Все минус 30 сейчас ощущаются в Приморье. Морозов не выдержала теплотрасса. Вот такой огромный стихийный фонтан забил на набережной Владивосток. К удару циклона готовится на Камчатке, там объявлена лавинная опасность. На вторые сутки сильный снегопад в Волгоградской области. К этой минуте уже выпала треть месячной нормы. Метели снежные заносы на дорогах в Саратовской области. Из-за гололеда в Кюве съехал бензовоз и парализовал движение на одну из трасс. В Хабаровском крае прокуратура начала проверку после аварийного отключения воды, отопления и газоснабжения. Без тепла почти в минус 60 остались несколько тысяч жителей. И в эти же минуты пожарные спасают от огня целые село. На одном из дачных участков вспыхнули 2 крупные цистерны с бензином. Из одной из них разлилось топливо. Слышны громкие хлопки. Площадь возгорания составляет 300 квадратных метров. Тушение задействовано больше 40 человек и 10 единиц техники. Сейчас главная задача – не допустить переход огня на здание. Грозная ударная сила и длинная рука российского флота надо...
Японского моря.
Значит, ракета вышла замечание, ракета вышла замечание.
Столетний уже был. Знаешь меня? Алло, да. Я, Happy New Year, да. С Новым годом. Вас вижу. Красиво у вас так, хорошо?
Да, все вроде нормально. У вас все в порядке, все живы, здоровы?
Да, все хорошо.
Отлично. Ну, я желаю вам в следующем году, потому что мы с вами до Нового года теперь не будем разговаривать. Желаю вам здоровья, успехов, счастья, главное, да, и здоровья вашим близким.
Спасибо огромное, да, спасибо вам, всего доброго, берегите себя, будьте здоровы, счастливы. То есть как бы все будем, наверное, да, все хорошо. Спасибо. Вам всего доброго, всего хорошего, да. Всего счастья, да. Хорошо. Daniel, you're first, yeah?
Hello.
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 Oh, nice to meet you. So,
Nice to meet you.
yeah. Okay, what do we have today, tomorrow? Wait a second, just a moment. All right. Maybe some news. Yeah. You know what? Нет, наоборот, да. Let us play something good, yes. What did we play yesterday, last time? Oh, yes. G minor. Scale period. Да. Ага. Окей. Okay, your fingering seems to be okay. Sorry. Yeah. Так. Нет, надо что-то показать еще. Okay, what you're up to with this scale? What you're up to? What Okay, I gotta show something. Yeah, that. So, here is the okay, да, ну это единственное самое. Piano music, okay, piano music, надо встречать regular. What is the secrets of the scale? Yes, different versions. Yes, we add more sentimental notes, and we make the scale grow. Yes. some views. Да не надо говорить. Ладно, не надо. Все, короче. Alright, let's play some music. What do you have? Ну да. Да, если сам, да. So yeah, maybe we'll finish. We are finishing these books, yes. I think so. And go on, yes. Yes. Okay, let us introduce this scale. I have some ideas about it. Yes. Hopefully you see well. Oh, sorry. Okay. Nice Irish, nice song. Let us try, okay? So since you're learning, yes. Okay. Сам говорит, что
What do you mean by last song?
Ah,
What do you mean by last song?
it is Irish ballad, yes. Here is the melody, okay. Here is the melody. It goes okay, you may play it. Yes? Yeah, hopefully you know this song. Oh, sorry. Okay, one by one. Try. Oh, sorry, no, sorry. Mix. And then. Yeah, one more time.
Hold on
Ah,
a second. Something's wrong with it.
oh, yeah, turn around. Yeah, sorry. My camera is off. Okay. Okay. One more time. Here is the chord. And it goes. Yes. And it goes like da, and then 6 5. No, from the scale. Yes, and then 4 3. Yes, and all together one more time. So basically so basically G minor. Yes. So how to we can make it on your own, okay? It goes okay on 1 and on 7, yes. So basic trick, yeah. Yes, it's all it's yeah. And then you go up. Return to the G minor. Tonic. Hear it what's happening. Yes. And after this we go like or D major. So basically we have 3 yes. So yes. So and that's how it goes. Yeah. And this will, он тебя просто понял. Ну, наоборот. Okay, it's just simple. Да. Okay, and this is how it goes. Here it goes with the left hand. That will be down below. G minor, F major, Okay, so this is the basic melody, yeah? The basic part. This is how, yes, and you can use it any way, yes? That's how the scale is made, yes? Hopefully, it is, It is not easy, I guess, not really easy. But it's the beauty of a melody maker, melody строение, melody pitchness, да, это он Yes, and the basic relations in music, yes, basically some motions in music, yes, they go like, so that's how you feel the chord with your, so basically, yes, you feel the chord with the different majors, yes, ну это себе думает уже так, да. Locomotion, да? Developing your mind and spirit, you know. Yes, geez, so like or something. Proper pose, yes, almost everything is actual, yes. Different tricks from the past. Yeah, for example, we have a G minor, yes? And in this we have some tricks. Okay, it's later. Maybe later, yes. Yes. Look at this, basics. So the basics, you just look up look up and move the melody where you want, yes? And the basis is sorry for the not sharpness, sharper, okay? So basically you just move with just as a basis you can this is very ancient, very ancient. Okay, very well. So yeah, very good basis to move is 1 and 5 and 4. 5, 4 is very well, and sometimes when 1, so I have 1. And now, for example, 6. 6 we already passed with you, hopefully, yes. So 6 has in minor, it has such a it's respected very. Okay, it's drama. Okay, it's too late. We have 4, for example, 4. You may add something to it or just make the basis. Yes, да, понимаю. Russian music like the folk. It is Slavish music actually. It doesn't really matter, да, это не важно. So, that's not mine already. And you may leave it here. Yes, so for a good melody you may need some bass. Yes. Okay, some you can some improvisation, improvising, yes. And where I want to go back to basis, yes. Or maybe I want to continue. Something like this, very classical cadence. It's called cadence, like cadence. And I return home and start new topic, new theme. Start new theme. For example, major scale. Shortly, very like this. Light and darkness, light and dark. E major. additional 5. So, yeah, if you wish, you can study this piece alone. Okay, now I watch you playing. I watch, да, ну, короче, да, play sound, да. Ага. Okay, there was something. I would introduce you one thing. Yes, melody more feelful. Yes, like yes, more on melody. Push on melody more. You have some lyrics in it. Okay. Yeah. Yes. I would advise. Yeah, I would. Okay, and less bass. Bass get out because your bass is too high. Your bass is too loud. Да. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Orient on your spirit. Your spiritual or something. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes, sometimes there is something in the music, like, one very good, one very genius musicians, they said that music is like, it is hard to explain, but music has inside of it. Yes, how's it? No, it's easy. You have to develop this, like a motion skill of music, yeah, if you wish, yes. Of course, it's inside. Ой, да, он достал уже просто. Ну, короче, да. So, да. So, yes, play. Да. So, one more time. Where is your bass? Yeah, your bass is missing. Yeah, no one can, start off. Да. So, develop your music skill. Да не надо играть уже. Okay, I listen again, sorry. Yeah, okay, наоборот, нет, понял тебя. Maybe. You have to найти, find it. Melody doesn't live like this. I would advise you, if you're just playing melody alone, without bass, without your left hand, without anything in your left hand, just sing it then, and melody will help you then. Yes. Yeah. Okay. That's right. That's good. Now you catch it. Now you catch some mood. Yes, some in it. Now you can make a piece out of it. Yes, you can. Да, понял тебя. Ну, как бы topic, да. Like an author, like that. Sorry. Very well. For example. And what else? You may develop it further. What I would advise in classical music, commonly you repeat no, in да, no поняла. And at this moment, I got a picture. What is the music wants to go? What is the music inside of it? Yes, maybe like this, because this topic wants maybe like a song book. Yes. And then I would prefer music. Would prefer. It depends on what genre you like. Yes, but what? Yes, on you. What you feel? Yeah, короче. Maybe we. This is not big thing. And it's trio. Different type of musical forms, yes, expectations, yes, the regular expectations, some kind of perfect form, Mozartian maybe forms, they are like songbook, yeah, maybe, yeah, that's why. Respect some melodies, respect, yes, develop it inside the melody. Yeah, some moody here, yeah. Not to be escaped, you have to return. It is okay, since you are not big yet. Yes. Yeah, very good pick. You're already low phone. You're good. Too many chords, too many sounds. Maybe one couple basses and that's it. Well, if it's not embarrassing you, embarrass a little. Embarrass a little, okay? Yes, yeah. So, yes, hopefully. Yes, inside the scale, what do we have inside the melody? Yes. Yes. Develop your skills, yes. Yes. And try to use it. Very often, yes. Norwegian, yes. Наоборот. Yeah. Drama, yeah, dramatic bar. Oh, very strange. What was this? Out of scale. You want to go out of scale. Okay, if it's smooth, sometimes going out of scale is good. Okay, listen very well. Okay, and ну наоборот, нет. So yes, some traditional, folk songs maybe. Да. Наоборот. Yes, it's like это наоборот, да. Now, okay, maybe now something more complex. Yes, complex. Okay, here we go. Some major degrees, okay? Major degrees. Some, some maybe ordinary, not ordinary chords, maybe ordinary or complemented ordinary chords, yes? Simplification and simple. Yes, I feel. No, modern composers, наоборот, она это смеется. Okay, modern composers. No, 100 years ago. Like this. So don't be yes. Да, понимаю. Traditional folkish music, yes. But scales, yes, you might do it, but convincing. You have to convince me, convince yourself, find spirit in it. Yes, by the convincing, I mean that you truly love it. You truly have to, like your child. Yes, Yes. Yeah, quite good. There was some spirits in it, yeah. And chromatic, yes, very well. Now I heard some alternations, yeah. Hopefully, you know this word maybe, yes. So you can. You may. Oh, не надо, значит, да. It is not. I don't think that this genre in this kind of song, in this kind of interpretation, sounds really normal. Yes. But there is something. Yeah. If you make it completed, just completed. There may be so of you. Yeah. So of you. Okay. Very good genre. Like it. Yes. Да, понимаю. Да, свое поиграем. between me, you gotta tell me. Okay, very good. You're very fine. Yeah, now it's major. Yeah, I hear the major scales. Yeah, so you know. So you're like combining. Да, он понял тебя уже, наоборот. Yes. Yeah. You. Oh yeah, I enjoy it. Yeah. With these three. This one, yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So we gotta finish. Yeah. Finish. So okay. So you hopefully enjoyed. Some piano tricks, yes, I do tricks piano, да, чтобы ты сам играл тоже, да, you wanna play some you, да, some you, yeah, да, самого будет играть, да, ну наоборот, то есть, ну да, платно, все, Okay then. Yes. I'll show you. Take you some tricks. Take tomorrow. Okay.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. I wanted to spell your heart to guru. To guru. Yeah. Yes. Hopefully you got me already. Yes. You have such a progress. Actually, yes. I enjoy spending with you. So you can be graspy. Yeah. Find the trick that when you feel empty, find inside it, okay? Yes, inside it. In your topic, yeah. You got you, yeah. Got yourself, yeah. So come on, yeah. All right, Gashan is okay. Okay, да, пока, bye. Oh, Dasha, hi. Hello. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Very well, thanks. Very good. So, shall we do today? Something good? Yeah. Why wanna play? Why want that? Yes. Oh, sorry. This was the other three. Sorry, one second. I know it may be sorry for interrupting, but maybe when you're playing, it is inconvenient for you or for the intro, blah blah blah. But for music, it doesn't matter. Once Tchaikovsky, maybe this guy, Nutcracker and so on. Yeah. Once Tchaikovsky said that it doesn't matter if you are a pianist, if it's inconvenient for you or something. It only matters if it's convenient for the music. Yes. So it depends. So if as a musician, but of course all the music is written for some instruments and for hands. Of course, so it's playable. Yes. Yeah. So it doesn't really matter. Yeah. Sometimes. Yeah. Of course, in music, sometimes some people just make it like a trick. It doesn't matter. Forget it. So that's how it. So it's all, but it doesn't. So it should be convenient. Yeah. So not you are respecting the music. Music is respecting you. Yes. So music is written like this. And music in itself, I am a representative of music. I'm a listener, yes, of a musician. Yeah, I'm a listener. As a listener, I'm not in. Okay, I hear the piano. Oh, I know this tune. Okay, and we play and. Wow, what's wrong with this music? No, something I hear. Understand me, yeah? So, music doesn't care for, you may use this finger or other finger, but we use the finger that are written for us. Okay, just doesn't matter. So, it is important to be oblivious, yes? To be stricter, yes? To be stricter in your session. Okay, one more time, please. Okay, hopefully you got it. Rhythm, yes. Don't haste. No. Smoother, да. Okay, all right. Okay. Some misery or something inside. Yeah, some misery too. Sorry. Okay. So hopefully you got the point. Yeah. Something put inside, misery or something, some misery, some good portion of it. Okay. So how to do this technically? Yes, by your piece. Yes. Feel the grasp. Feel the grasp and feel the mood inside of it. Yes. Sometimes grasp is even enough. Yes. Okay. I don't know. Go on, try it, please. Yes. Take the sum. Okay. Okay. Hopefully you got me. More convenient. Yeah. In mood, okay? Now louder. You don't pompezi. Louder. Sorry for this. It is just hair trick. Just hair trick. Pump him. No? And there is repetition, I think. Yeah? More convenience. No, read them correct, please. That's how the melody is. And it is not interested if you're a piano or... So you should, yes. What, maybe your fingers are, tired or missing, but melody is not interested. And listeners will say, oh, they are not interested, and labels that are written, they are not interested too. You can, so yeah. So of course, pro musicians, they can use different fingers. It's just like a tool. That's why I'm explaining this to you. Yes, but you should respect the melody and the fingering, because the fingering is the thing that we are making tools with it. Okay, you понимаешь? Okay, I just wanted to, So okay, hope you clean. Very well. Okay, don't be scared. It is okay. I'm just talking to you how to play it more correctly. Так наоборот. Да, okay. Okay, that was very good. Play the rhythm correct, okay? Rhythm correct is very important. Okay, maybe I turn on the metronome for you. It will help maybe. Maybe slower, a little slower. Okay, what is it? 90, we will take 90 degrees. Oh no, it's too late already. Let's take this rhythm. Tim, down, tim. You hear my metronome? That's how it goes. Well, when it goes dim, it goes beginning of the note. Very well. Yeah, now I heard. I just sorry, I made it loud, so I didn't hear you knocking. But melody was good. Melody was almost in time. Now you hear this clap, huh? One chick, 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 and it goes for beginning of the click. Yeah, pam, pim, pam. So it goes. Pam, 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 four. Yeah, and make it of course, and but music lives in a different, it may be but you should нам понимать тебя. It is very important to grasp it, yeah, like grasp. Yeah. Not spoil the rhythm. If it will, когда, понимаете, don't spoil the convenience. Вот это он и есть. Okay, maybe faster. Is it convenient to play with this tempi? convenient. Okay, let's make it a little faster than last наоборот. Нет, okay. И вообще не надо подождать. Да. Okay, maybe next. Okay, let's try Dakota melody. Let's return to Dakota because it die. Yeah. All right. Maybe it's too harsh already. Yes, to deal with. Okay, наоборот. Да. Yes. About the metronome, can you buy it metronome? Okay, you of course can buy the metronome as a ticker. Yes, да, ну да, in any shops. Yeah. Very well. Very well. Yeah, okay. I think you grasped it very well. Yeah. But that is okay. Rhythm, yes. Both of them there. Rhythm, okay. Yeah, you know, to be a good musician, yeah, you have to find this motion in the spirit, yes? Not only in ticking of the metronome or even your counting and inside, but when you're counting, yes, it's your counting, yes? It's not that you're not developed mechanical. So it's your, it becomes your and you can spirit it, yes? But if you're, понимаю. That's why it is important. Read out loud, maybe, yes? Yeah, you are a very good, convenient child, yeah? And you are a hard worker, I think, yes? I saw that. Okay. Okay, let us go. Да. Да, много, да нет, сверху, okay, merrily we're off to school. So in music it is very important. Yeah, that's what we buy music. We listen because there is something in it, emotion inside of it. Yes, and that's why we want to play it. That's why we love it. Okay, mechanic will help, but there's some fluidity. Yeah. So both of them it is very good. Okay, but if you're making scrumming melody, scrumming, then it makes okay, merrily we're off to school or what? Let us try without the metronome, like feeling it. Okay, maybe metronome. Okay, metronome. Okay, merrily we're off to school. Let's try. Let's do it. And try to pick the sound, because quiet and pick the sound louder, yes? And in order to grasp it with your spirit, soul, with your heart, creature, I don't know, all together. Yeah. Okay. Very well. Oh, inconvenience here. Yeah, I don't merrily. Ну нет, не буду. So, okay. Off to school. Yom pom pom. Yom pom. Happy, be happy. Merrily we're off. Да что такое? Merrily we're off to school. Off to school. Off to school. Merrily. Kong. It already has to be. So yes, it's already held. Here I am. So I'm playing while I'm playing this. What is it? Sorry, wait. Here the school was Hong, and I have to prepare already this. Okay. So it is important to make a show, you know. To make it so preparation, yeah, like a music teacher. So all together, sorry, other hand, yeah, right hand. What is the second? Okay, more convenience, yes. Hopefully you got it. More, a little bit slower, maybe. Okay, let's make it tempi alone like this. Okay, like 90. Okay, 90, or maybe even 70. Yes. Maybe we are very merrily, or maybe we are bowing up. Okay, 80 maybe. 80. Okay, 80. 80 is okay. For a beginner, yes. Why it's important? Make it convenient. All the dances are danced all right. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. And take the sound. And try to pick the mood inside. Okay? Go on, your try. You're out over the metro. You're out. Try slower. It is, yeah. It is important. Why is it important? It is important as a trick that you control it. You grasp your sound, and you have. Понимаешь? I want just like a trick to make it. Yeah, okay. Go on. Last try. All right. Go on, try it. Играй своем, play your tempo, играй свой темп. But don't mistake that. And make it so hard inside, so hard. Okay? Louder, please, louder. Louder, it's not merrily. Make it trigger. Sorry, down. Take my. Precision, vertical. Sound is vertical. Step inside. Deeper and find the length in it. Here it length goes from the bottom. It's in Russian there is kind of from the bottom. Yes. Listenable sound. It's called. Yeah, like sound that you melodize it. Yes. Not just pass away, but it goes in your control. Yes. Enjoyable. And it's good because I enjoy it. I have it. I take it and I listen with the listener, with somebody, yes, with a musician. Yeah. And I can put something in it, yeah, like it, so complete, like a glitch. Yeah, I don't care it. I just want to tell you story about yourself. Okay, gone twice. More convenient. Last time. Okay. It is good. I wanted to make it some louder, some grasper, or that you know it already. You know it all. Yeah. Yeah, melodizer, yes. Mary, we're after school, Mary. Here's our bus, Hong. Hurry, it won't wait. Flight. One flight. Okay, make enjoyer. Okay, you modestly, very well. All right. Okay. Okay. Okay, got it. Yeah, that's good. I have the grasper with the left hand, especially. Yes, yes. Modestly, and it was the grasper. Okay, very well. I enjoyed it. But it's all well. Okay, it's well. Oh, nicer. Oh, okay, maybe best friend. My best friend. It's a story about you and your daughter, or what? Those. My best friend is down there. More convenient. More fat or something. More gross. Ho. More gross beneath, and make it like Riska. To make it sound more like stricter, yes. Try to put it closer to hand, okay? And how it is shown. Yes, of course. In piano literature, of course, we make it a little like this. But yes, enjoying that. Yeah, open up your heart. Yes. Yeah. Okay, greater, huh? All right. Modest. More. More stricter. Maybe козуля просто, да? Maybe a little, maybe angry for some time or something, yeah. Take this sound, grasp it away, yes. Yeah, it's your time to play, to story. Okay, go on. Some emotional darkness, yeah. Take it more gooder. I know UK. You just UK. You just couldn't, yes. Okay. Okay. All right, come on. Okay, quite well. More sound. All right, all day long, I play keyboard, I can do it. Okay, okie dokie. Reminder. Complete sequences. Okay, don't hesitate. Don't hesitate. Convenient. Yeah, it will offend it. Okay, all right. Are you sure you played correctly? Huh? Play something else, something more. Okay, very good. Now, wow, sequence. Now, what is happening here? That happening here. You feel you should feel it inside. Feel, yeah. I play keyboard all day long. Ching, 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 ching. Oh, wrong. I can think about it as a couple phrases, yes? Та-ти, я, та-та-та-тим. Each fourth or what is that? Yeah, or I can actually more correct will be about the same. Yeah, ta ti ta 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 ti. So I'm not just pushing it down. No, so it goes. Don't forget this thing. All day long. Chong, 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 chong. I was wrong. My God, what is song? Yes. So to make it more complicated, yes, remember it. Yeah, da 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 da, ya da da, ya da ti da, ya da da, ya da da da, ya da da, ya da da da, ya da da. I should feel nice. So it make it. Okay, go on now. Try play it. All day long. Окей, Моркан, да, ну окей, да, да наоборот, значит, еще. Either convenience, ну поняла хотя бы. Spirit inside it. Yes, some practice, and take both of them, and take it, grasp it, take it, grasp it. One more last time, okay? Maybe slower, but grasp it going. So I don't hear, I don't hear each note, I hear the phrase. It is not really easy to squeeze. My speaker, it's my speaker. Okay. Archie, like an Archie. Yeah, like an Archie. Yes, to make more convenient sound, you may produce it with one more life. Like a stepper, like a stepper. So it doesn't matter. Okay. Don't forget it. Yes, don't forget it. Okay, go on now. Okay, come play with brothers. Come play at this here. Okay? Let us try. Reading notes better. I told you, yes? Okay, last time, I think, previous before last maybe, yes? I told you about the string, about the folk melodies, yes? That you can make on the black keys mostly, yes? Mostly black keys. So since we are studying black keys and since you are already familiar with all them, yes, here is the trick, okay? To make it more, you may try to find the songs. Yeah, you may try. Короче, да. So here is how it goes. Your left hand plays double notes. Double notes. So they look like this, yes? Double notes, but double notes like in the third bar is missing, yes? The third bar is missing, yes? Oh, sorry? You okay? Oh, sorry, interrupt, yes? Interrupt. My charger is okay. Okay, so here it goes. So the beginning of the melody supposedly will be from the one of the third, okay? From this key. Maybe, or maybe actually you may start from any, but better to start and to finish on this, yes? Please show me that you understand. Play this key, one of the black, of the third, with your right hand. Okay, play. Yeah. So now, yes, it is about your right hand. So your right hand supposedly will be on these 5 keys. So 3 of them, yes, and 2 on the left and 2 on the right black keys, yes. And maybe time to time, you just if you will, but it will depends on situation. But okay, just only black, two black keys, yes, 2 black on the left, 2 black on the right, yes. So group of 3 and 2 above and 2 behind, yes. And your left hand will take some like chordish things, yes. Here it goes. Okay. So what is it?
It's time for you.
Okay, I'm just showing you, yes, these tricks. So that's how it goes. What involved keys are around these 3 blades to these white keys, okay? And you can push any double keys, removing in third instead, yes? And as a chord on your left hand, as a left hand, okay? And you may improvise and introduce your melodies, yeah? So you just push some, yes? So the ending will be not at all. The ending will be these 2 black white. So actually you're like a runner, yes? You make like a speed run, yes. You're like a runner. You make this, do this, okay, that goes, do this. So here is the scale pattern, yes? So, and you make it doubling here, doubling, and in the end here it goes. And and when you end, you come here. Okay, move on any of two the buttons, yes, and you can. So you can stepwise. You are just walking up the street and walking up and down, and yes, walking and backwards. For example, and now upwards and move our. I just moved right? Okay. Okay. I'm finishing. Okay, I got you. Okay, so hopefully, yeah. Okay, all right. Later, honey. Then, okay. Play, bye. Play. Introduce your mommy. Introduce your mommy. Пока. Это уже лишнее. Вот это и есть надо. Contigo. Да. Да вот это она имеет в виду. Давайте. Да, пожалуйста. Да, это и есть он самый. Так он же, да, вот это и был он самый. Да, вот это он и был самый, да. Да, нет, понимаю, это. Да, думаю. Ну, да. Вот, ну, да. Да. Да, вот это был самый. Вот нет, нет. Все хорошо, все хорошо играешь, все. Да. Хорошо играешь. Вот это и есть оно самое, да вот это и было оно самое. Вот это и было оно, да, оно тебе и думает, что ты Можно бороться. Хорошо.
Насыщенный.
С такой легкой горчинкой. Сколько стоил?
Это чуть дороже страховки моей квартиры.
Огонь.
Защита квартиры по цене кофе. Быстрое оформление в Сбербанк онлайн.
Hello, welcome to my channel Medicine with Dr. Morin. If this is your first time visiting, my name is Dr. Keith Morin. Many of my elderly patients have asked me recently what their risk of severe COVID-19 is after full vaccination. Many countries are reporting the numbers of severe infections after full vaccination, but they fail to provide any additional data about what kinds of patients are the ones with these severe breakthroughs. As of October 24, 2021, this is the CDC's data from the USA in regards to this. As you can see from the slide, there have been 10,859 deaths in fully vaccinated people. Of those 10,857 deaths, it was felt that 2,299 were not due to COVID, meaning that they had no symptoms related to the virus, but had a positive test and died because of factors that were not related to COVID. So if you take away these 2,299 people from the 10,857, you are left with 8,558 people in the US who died of COVID-19 while being fully vaccinated. Now, this is a very small number compared to the number of fully vaccinated people in the US, which is currently 190 million. This speaks to the success of the vaccines, of course. If you look at hospitalizations, which would be an indicator of a significant COVID-19 illness, there are 30,270 in total, people who were hospitalized but did not die. Now, what older people want to know are the characteristics of the people that end up in a hospital or die after vaccination. Obviously, these are the people that we better need to protect. It would be helpful to know what kind of health problems, or as we say in medicine, comorbidities, that these people actually have. There is no information on the CDC site that I can find with respect to this. However, there is a recently published peer-reviewed study in The Lancet. This is the Lancet study, and the authors, I make note, had no disclosures. This was done using the Yale New Haven Health System. And the study authors, what they did was a systematic review of all the people who were admitted to hospital with a positive PCR test between March 23, 2021 and July 1st, 2021. For all of these people, they determined their vaccination status. In total, there were 969 patients who were admitted with a positive PCR. They did not state the total number of hospital admissions during this time, but everybody, when they were admitted, were tested with PCR. Now, this graph shows the breakdown of those 969 people. As expected, the vast majority were unvaccinated, and there were 797 of those people. This is something that we're currently seeing no matter what hospital or medical system or country, that the unvaccinated make up the majority of people hospitalized. Obviously, as more vaccinated make up the majority of people hospitalized. Obviously, as more and more people get vaccinated, this will change. And what I mean by that is that if 100% of people are vaccinated, then of course 100% of hospital admissions are going to be for COVID-19 in vaccinated individuals. As you can see, 103 people had 1 dose of Pfizer or 1 dose of Moderna, and there were 15 people who had received both doses of Pfizer or Moderna or a single dose of J&J, but had not quite gotten out to 14 days after their second injection. So they weren't considered fully vaccinated. This group was called a completed course, meaning they had received their vaccinations but were not past the 14 days. The number of fully vaccinated people, which of course was defined as having your full complement of vaccines and then being out more than 14 days, was 54. Then what they did was to look more closely at these 54 people who were fully vaccinated and had a positive PCR test. Because they were testing every hospital patient who was admitted with PCR testing, it's not surprising that many of these people, of course, were asymptomatic or had very mild symptoms related to the virus. And they actually were being admitted to the hospital for other reasons. In other words, they're being admitted not for COVID-19. Here's the breakdown on the 54 people. As you can see, there were 14 people that had severe disease. Severe disease was defined as people with a low oxygen saturation of less than 94% on room air, or a respiratory rate of more than 30 breaths a minute, or lung infiltrates greater than 50%. They then looked more closely at these 14 people to see what their comorbidities or other health problems were. Now, of the 14 people, the median age was 80.5 years of age. 4 of the 14 people needed ICU care. 1 required mechanical ventilation, and that means a tube was placed down through the mouth into the trachea to deliver oxygen into the lungs. 3 people of the 14 died. These were the comorbidities that were present in these 14 people. 9 people were overweight or obese. 12 people had cardiovascular disease. 7 people had lung disease. 4 people had cancer. 7 with type 2 diabetes. And 4 people were on a medication that suppressed their immune system.
Всего несколько часов остается до самого ожидаемого и любимого нами праздника, друзья. В основном все празднуют с семьей или друзьями, а кто-то и с семьей, и с друзьями. Это идеальное сочетание. Кстати, если вы очень любите в последние часы по магазинам, то спешите, а то встретите Новый год где-нибудь в очереди. Спасибо, с Новым годом.
Спасибо, и вас дальше.
This slide looks at these 14 people. Now, there's a lot on the slide, and it may be a little difficult to see if you're watching this on a small cell phone. But as you can see from the ages, these are all elderly people. Many of them are overweight or obese, and a normal BMI is 18.5 up to 25, to put it in perspective. 13 of the 14 people had the Pfizer vaccine, which was the most common vaccine in Connecticut at the time. Only 1 of the 14 received the Moderna vaccination. The total number of vaccines, to give you an idea of Connecticut, were 1.3 million for Pfizer, 1.04 million for Moderna, and 0.27 million for the J&J. Now, based on these small numbers, there's 0.27 million for the J&J. Now, based on these small numbers, there's a much higher percentage of people getting a breakthrough infection after being vaccinated if you had Pfizer versus Moderna. This is deserving of further study. This may very well have to do with the fact that the Moderna vaccine actually contains more messenger RNA, 100 micrograms, compared to Pfizer, which is 30 micrograms of mRNA. In the vaccine actually contains more messenger RNA, 100 micrograms, compared to Pfizer, which is 30 micrograms of mRNA. In addition, Moderna vaccine is given 4 weeks apart instead of the 3 weeks with Pfizer, which is likely another benefit. In my most recent video, which was on vaccine efficacy as well as mix and matching, I presented data from 2 provinces in Canada, both of which found that the sweet spot for the time between the 2 vaccinations actually was 7 to 8 weeks. This is the data for Pfizer from British Columbia, if you didn't watch my last video. There was no additional benefit if you look at the graph, extending this out to 16 weeks between the 2 shots, but clearly 3 to 4 weeks was not as good as 7 to 8 weeks. Here's the data from the other province, Quebec. And you see the same thing happening here for Pfizer and Moderna. In Canada, they did use the AstraZeneca vaccine, and you can see that it took 16 weeks, which is 4 months between shots, actually to get the vaccine efficacy up at preventing infections to Pfizer and Moderna. Now, getting back to the 14 people in the study that I'm talking about, the last 5 columns of the slide looks at comorbidities. And you can see there that patients had multiple comorbidities. There actually was only 1 patient who did not have any of the 5 comorbidities, and in fact was of ideal weight as well. They didn't make any specific comment about this 76-year-old man, but I do wonder whether this person had a comorbidity either not classified or diagnosed at the time. I do hope that there's further studies published on who gets severe breakthrough infections. And this is important because it will allow us to decide who would benefit from a 3rd vaccination. In other words, who needs a little more protection. This is an important thing to research so that we know the benefits of that 3rd injection. And we can balance this also with the risk of getting a 3rd one. It's also important in terms of vaccine equity, as 36% of rich countries are now giving 3rd vaccinations, while 97% of people in low-income countries don't even have their 1st shot. So in summary, the data in this study is exactly what you would expect. The people who get serious breakthrough infections are elderly and have multiple comorbidities. Therefore, it's important to be as healthy as you can be. And if you do have comorbidities, try to reverse those if possible, or at least get these under good medical control. Thank you for joining me today on Medicine with Dr. Morin. I'm Dr. Keith Morin. Get healthy and stay healthy.
Василисе интересно многое. Родителям интересно подарить то, что понравится Василисе. Но как понять, что именно? Подарите Яндекс-станцию лайк. Всем интересный подарок.
Саша, не волнуйся, за квартиру денежку закинул еще вчера на рыбалку. Штраф оплатил? Да, и штраф.
Okay, well, today we're talking to Kyle, and where are you, Kyle, at the moment, actually?
I'm actually in Boise, Idaho.
Idaho, okay, so that's kind of getting top left-hand corner, is it?
Yeah, it is. It's like the last kind of Pacific Northwest state, I guess you could say, a little
Yeah,
bit.
Washington State, yeah, okay. Right, now, we have to let people decide whether they want to watch this video or not. So what's kind of the bottom line on this video, Kyle? Why are we here?
So I'm a professional mountain bike racer, and I was vaccinated with the Pfizer vaccine in June of 2021. That was my second dose, and I had a pretty bad adverse reaction. And yeah, we're just kind of going through the timeline, telling people what my experience was, and then also sharing some resources for other vaccine-injured people.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to be heading to Washington, D.C. in November 2nd, to go speak in front of politicians and try to just make a little difference in the support level for vaccine-injured people, and then also speak about vaccine mandates, because I believe where there is risk, there needs to be choice.
Yes, good, excellent, and of course we're going to put links to all of that. So that's what this video is about. So take us back to the start of this, Carl. You're a famous mountain biker, aren't you? You've got a mountain. So you are. You've got mountain bike websites, and
yeah,
you're enabled to do all sorts of mountain bike stuff. So you're a really fit guy, basically.
Yeah, I was actually a professional racer for many years. I'm 29 years old. And I've been a professional racer since I was 18, 3-time North American Enduro Tour champion. So at a high level as my job for the past 10 plus years. And then it was really interesting because during COVID, all of the races got canceled in 2020. And so my girlfriend, April, she's like such a trooper. She loves learning new things, and she used to race motorcycles, motocross. And so we started a YouTube channel, and I just thought it'd be fun to upload some how-to videos to get people through the pandemic. And then it just took off. And so it grew from nothing to basically 250,000 in the past year.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, now that's kind of our full-time thing, is making videos and helping people learn.
No, that's great. I ride a bike about 2-3 times a week, but not as seriously as you. So it sounds like you're one of the fittest people on the planet before you had this difficulty. You're basically a professional athlete.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah. Anyway, so you had the first Pfizer vaccine. When was that, Kyle? What's the timeline?
So that would have been the middle of May.
That would have been May.
Yeah, middle of May was my first dose, and everything went pretty normal. First dose, had a sore arm the next couple of days, no big deal. And then our second dose was June 10th. The reason we had got vaccinated was, to be able to travel with our channel this year. We were going to try to travel internationally and just meet up with a bunch of different friends and sponsors along the way. So it was kind of a must-have to travel at that point. June 10th was my second dose. My girlfriend April got vaccinated at that same time, and she had, same reaction as the first time with the sore arm. And then for me, it was a little bit interesting because as soon as they kind of injected it, I had a weird metallic or like saline taste in my mouth develop. And I kind of asked the guy, hey, is that normal? He's like, no, I don't really hear that much. So it was really interesting. Like, I wonder what that was, And then a day or two later, I didn't really develop the sore arm either. And so I was like, this one's no big deal. I guess the second dose is a lot easier than the first. And then about 2 weeks later, I started to have some weird, just kind of reactions to my heart. And so what was happening to me is throughout the day, I could just be standing there or sitting there, and I would just have these weird flushes of like really high heart rate and kind of almost like an anxiety attack.
How did you know the heart rate was high, Carl? What happened?
I wear a Garmin watch. So I have like a Garmin watch. I track all of my sleep and everything. And so I was pretty on top of it. And I noticed my resting heart rate went from, low 50s up to like 60-ish. And I was like, that's interesting. And then my heart rate throughout the day, when I would have those kind of moments, it was kind of in the 90s to 100, just sitting there. And that's not very normal for me. So I was pretty cognizant of it. And right away, I just cut out all stimulants. So no caffeine, no, tried to reduce everything just to cut out stimulants, because I thought maybe there's just something weird happening. And then I took 2 weeks off completely of like riding, doing anything, because I felt kind of crappy. And then we went for a bike ride about 2 weeks after that. And on the bike ride, started out normal. I was feeling a little bit kind of iffy, just lightheaded a little bit. And I went on the bike ride, and my heart rate kind of went up on the start of a climb. We climbed for maybe 5 minutes. My heart rate got up to like 160. And then it wouldn't come down no matter what I did. and it just felt like I was going to throw up, and I felt just really weak. And I was actually with a friend, his name's Bill, and he's in his 40s, and he just looked at me, he grabbed my shoulder, he's like, "You're going to the hospital, you look like you're going to die." And so I was like, "Okay, look, come down," no matter what I did. And it just felt like I was going to throw up, and I felt just really weak. And I was actually with a friend, his name's Bill, and he's in his 40s, and he just looked at me, he grabbed my shoulder, he's like, "You're going to the hospital, you look like you're going to die." And so I was like, okay. So we were in Sun Valley, Idaho, which is 2 hours away from Boise. So we drove back to Boise. The whole time, those 2 hours, my heart rate never went below 135, and it just stayed up for 2 hours. Got home, I couldn't even really walk out of the car to like get dressed because we had biking clothes on. So I got dressed, I was at 150, 160 heart rate, just trying to walk around the house. And then I went to the hospital, and I told them, "Hey, I know this is weird. I just read about the myocarditis, pericarditis with the mRNA vaccines. I think I might be having this reaction." And they basically said, "No, you're not." Like, he literally said, "No, you're not. That's very rare. You're having an anxiety attack. Like, I'll admit you, but you're not a priority right now." So I sat in the waiting room for like 3.5 hours, just sitting there, like holding my heart, like, oh, you know.
This was a doctor, Kyle, was it?
It was at the emergency room, a hospital in Boise called St. Alphonsus.
Yeah,
and
so it was a doctor that told you were having a panic attack.
Yeah, exactly. And then I told him, "Hey, I'm not, you know, like, I know my body, this isn't normal, something's happening, and all the side effects I'm having are in correlation with the side effects I read about." Because I think the day prior to this big instance is when the World Health Organization did an official warning. So I was kind of just paying attention to that, you know, and then I told him, "Hey, this is what's happening." He said, "No, you're not." I was in the hospital for a few hours. They actually gave me a big shot of Toradol, which is an anti-inflammatory, because I was having like the reactive arthritis as well. And so he gave me a huge shot of Toradol, and it brought everything down. And my heart rate went from like 130 to 110. And he pointed out the thing. He's like, "Look, you're doing better." I'm like, "No, I'm not."
Still double your normal, isn't it? More than.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, my average heart rate is like 55 to 60. So this is double. I don't know what you're used to seeing, but this isn't normal for me. And yeah, he just told me, "I'm going to recommend you to a psychiatrist. I think you're having a psychotic episode," and just sent me on my way.
He said it was psychotic.
Yeah, because he thought that I was imagining things and basically trying to be like anti-vax or conspiracy theorist because of the way that I just said, "Hey, I think this is vaccine related." And at that time, they hadn't seen any at that hospital yet, to my knowledge. And so they sent me home. I had a lot of people reach out to me because I kind of shared, "Hey, this is what's going on with me." I got access to ivermectin, and I started to take that right away just because I heard a lot of people say, "Hey, this might kind of hold those spike proteins hostage and just arrest the reaction that you're having." So I started taking that. It helped a lot. It like basically stopped my symptoms from getting worse. I didn't get a lot better, but it just like put a placeholder on it. And then I ended up in the hospital 4 days later for a second time. I went to a different hospital this time. And I had a really, really strong squeeze on my heart. Like, it just cramped, and then it started burning kind of uncontrollably. And yeah.
Quite severe pain you had?
Yeah, it was scary because we actually were trying to, it was the first time I'd been out of the house in a few days from that first ER visit. And we were at the grocery store, and I was just trying to get a little bit of food. And I was like walking super slow, and I grabbed some fruit, and I was putting it in a bag. And then my heart cramped, and I just like dropped everything and just grabbed it and just like talked to April, my girlfriend, and said, "Hey, this isn't good. Like, we're going to the hospital again." And yeah, this time they actually believed me and said, "Hey, it could be this, you know, this is possible, and let's investigate it as if it is this." And so they referred me to a cardiologist, and I was diagnosed with pericarditis. And also I developed POTS, which is postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, as well as the reactive arthritis that I've been dealing with.
So the arthritis came on after the injection as well, did it?
Yeah, and it was weird because being a mountain biker, you know, I've had a lot of injuries and crashes over the years, and so it almost felt like all of my old injuries were reactivated. So I broke my SI joint a long time ago. Both sides of my SI joint were like excruciating pain. I couldn't even get up out of bed in the morning. And then both my ankles, both my wrists, like my wrists were so bad I couldn't even put my seatbelt on. So I had to have April help me put my seatbelt on. And then it's gotten a little bit better over the past few weeks, but I'm been supplementing with like some black seed oil, and that's what people have been telling me to really use. Is the black seed oil kind of blocks the ACE2 receptors, so that's been helping a lot. And yeah, every time we just start throwing supplementation at it and try to really mitigate the spike protein reaction, which is what I believe is happening, then it really helps a lot. But I can overdo it so easy and just like relapse right away. So it's kind of scary.
So this started 10th of June, 2 weeks after that. So this is June, July, August, September, October. So 4 months now you've been really quite ill.
Yeah, 4 months. I haven't really been able to work as far as, even doing videos and whatnot, because it's really interesting. But even like mental energy, if I have too much mental energy, so sitting and doing emails and stuff, I can actually relapse my physical reaction. So I think there's been 3 or 4 times where I've felt really great, and I kind of told April in the morning, like, oh, I think I'm better. And I get excited, and then either I overdo it physically just by like running errands, or even if I try to like start editing a video or something, then the next day I'll just be kind of in pain for a few days and in bed again.
So you're kind of wiped out with the effort.
Yeah, and it sucks that it's mental effort as well, because it's like no matter what I try to do, even if I like read and I read too much of a book or something, the next day I'll just be like so drained. So I feel like very I just feel so worthless. And I told April, like, I'm so sorry that this happened so many times, because we had all these plans, and then this happened, and I've basically just been kind of worthless for 4 months. But we are starting to get a little bit better, which I'm really excited about, especially once I started supplementing with the black seed oil. A woman from an organization called react19.org, she reached out to me after my video that I posted on YouTube, and she said, hey, thanks for sharing your story. These are the things that have been helping people that we know of so far, and that was one of the big ones that's been helping me a lot.
And of course, we'll post the links to this if it helps anyone else. Then that's great. So you're still pretty. You're not right now by any means, are you? I mean, what does the cardiologist think? Does he think you're going to get gradually better, or what?
Yeah.
What's the prognosis?
So in August, I actually did a cardiac MRI, and my heart was cleared of all the pericarditis, so I didn't have any more swelling present in my heart, which was really good. That was a huge sign. But I was still struggling with all of the POTS symptoms. So like going from laying to standing, really high heart rate, and also like blacking out.
So your heart rate is going up to like 140 or something when you stood up? Yeah,
it was bad. Like I would even try to just cook like scrambled 2 eggs, and I'd get 125, 130 heart rate and pass out. So they told me, I did a stress test in September where they looked at my heart and said, your heart looks great, but the POTS symptoms are going to last for a while. And he told me just to kind of hang in there, and it should get better in a year to like 12 to 18 months is what he told me.
It's a long time though for your line of work, isn't it?
Yeah, and then he did tell me that, there are some things you can do to try to help, which is like stay very hydrated, a lot of electrolytes, compression leggings to try to help, basically just your body. And then also he told me to start exercising with like supine position, so leg press or rowing or swimming. So that's why I got like a little rowing machine.
Okay.
But so I'm starting, like I can do 10 minutes on the easiest setting on that now. And
then so you exercise actually lying back just as if you're on the sort of recumbent bicycle?
Yeah, a little bit like that, because then you're not having to pump the blood so high. But if I try to like walk or ride a bike or anything, I just am out of it. Drains me.
So your exercise tolerance is improving, you feel? That's good stuff.
Yeah, very slowly. And one thing that's interesting is from a lot of the people that have reached out to me, I've probably had around 50 to 60 injured people reach out to me over the past 4 months, like kind of 30 before my big YouTube video update, and then about 30 after. And so it seems like most people at the 9-month mark, they really start to feel like drastically better for whatever reason. So a lot of people just been saying, hey, this happened to me early in 2021. It's about October now. So like people that got the shot January, February, they're telling me that it seems like I'm better now that it's been 8 or 9 months. And so that was really interesting. There's kind of this weird, like artificial time limit on this whole reaction from what I've seen so far.
Let's hope so. Now, we know that you were diagnosed with what you call a pericardial effusion, Carl, weren't you? Now, that is, the pericardium is the tough fibrous sac around the heart. Then there's the heart inside that, and you've got fluid in between the two. And that was a definite problem. Did you have to have that aspirated, or did that go away on its own?
No, I was very lucky. So because I was so in tune with my body, and we kind of got this all, we caught it very early. My cardiologist was kind of telling me, hey, you're really lucky because your troponin level, which is a marker of heart damage, I guess like you said, it's on the myocardium versus the pericardium, but the troponin level I had was like a 0.8, and they told me, anything above a 1 is considered damaged. And so I was right on the cusp of that, and he told me that he's had 5 or 6 guys come in with levels of 25 to 30, really high troponin levels and really severe heart damage, and they have all kind of gone through the same process of trying to get better. But he told me I was very lucky that I came in so early and caught it. So, yeah.
So it sounds like your condition is mostly the pericarditis. Maybe some minimal myocarditis, but not significant myocarditis in the actual muscle of the heart, compared to some of these other guys who had troponins 30 times higher than yours were. And troponin comes from damage of the myocardium. Troponin comes from damage of troponins 30 times higher in the actual muscle of the heart, compared to some of these other guys who had troponins 30 times higher than yours were. And troponin comes from damage of the myocardium. So that indicates that I'm hoping your myocardium is pretty good shape.
Yeah, I'm hoping so as well. And they did they originally did an EKG and a CKG on me to check if I had any weird arrhythmias or anything, and they couldn't find anything. Yeah. Then they did an echocardiogram, and he was reluctant to order the echocardiogram because he's like, I don't think you're going to have anything. I don't believe that you're going through this reaction. They did the echocardiogram, found the pericarditis, and then I did a cardiac MRI, and I did a CT scan of my heart as well as radiation with the radioactive fluid. And yeah, it was. So I've had it looked at a million different ways, and they all said it looks really good. So I was very lucky in that aspect. But now I'm just kind of trying to get back to normal with the POTS symptoms, and then also the reactive arthritis.
Sure. I mean, how
the POTS symptoms, and then also the reactive arthritis.
Sure. I mean, how? Let's do those one at a time. And do you feel the POTS is getting a bit better?
Yeah.
Let's do those one at a time. And do you feel the POTS is getting a bit better?
Yeah.
And definitely put words in your mouth. If it's not, tell me.
No, it's really interesting. So like I said, on the days where I wake up and I feel pretty good, you know, maybe I'll go for 3 or 4 days where I'm bedridden and just kind of in and out of bed for most of the time. And then I'll have a breakthrough where I feel really good, and I don't really have any of the POTS symptoms during those good days. Like, I'm pretty functional, but then, like I said, if I just overdo it a little bit, then I get back into that system, and then I do experience the POTS symptoms quite a bit. So it's just this weird reaction where, like, it comes and goes in waves, and that's what's really difficult about it is I'm not sure how to manage it completely, and I'm trying so many different things. And you know, originally we started with ivermectin, which seemed to help temporarily. But what's interesting with that is it kind of, as soon as you stop taking it, then all the symptoms just come back. And so I had a doctor explain to me that it seems like the ivermectin is kind of holding those spikes hostage and stopping them from interacting with your body, but it doesn't eliminate them. And so once the ivermectin's gone, then it just kind of lets the spikes free flow again. And so then the other thing that we started trying was ACE2 receptor blocking. Like pine needle tea and star anise, and now this black seed oil. And those have been the most effective for me. And so, yeah, I started just drinking like a star anise tea. That's like a Chinese fruit from a pine tree. And I started making tea with that, and that helped a ton. And then like Thuja occidentalis, that's another kind of supplement that I would take, and that seemed to help quite a bit. So I'm trying to manage it, but then it's hard because you're taking so many things, you know?
Yeah. I mean, and of course you don't
manage it, but then it's hard because you're taking so many things, you know?
Yeah. I mean, and of course, your doctor could prescribe drugs that would do that more specifically as well.
Yeah.
You did those.
I've been asking pretty seriously for months, and what's hard is my primary doctor, she told me, hey, my hands are kind of tied because there's not an official treatment for this. There's not a treatment protocol. So she told me basically, I'm not going to prescribe anything that's not officially, you know, the right thing to do. So it's hard. And then it's been interesting to see her, her name's Susan, but it's really interesting to see her perspective shift over the past 3 months, because when I first came in, she was kind of saying, hey, you know, this is really rare. I haven't seen anybody with this. Then month number 2, when I did my checkup, she's like, I'm kind of seeing this a little bit more. It's really interesting. Please send me any information that you find. I'd love to read about it and learn more. And then month 3, she's like, this is a problem, and we need to figure this out. And yeah, it's just the way that my insurance is structured. It's with the state, so it's really difficult for them to prescribe things that aren't.
Right. Yeah. So your condition has evolved with the state of medical knowledge. It sounds like.
Yeah.
So that was the part. So secondly, the arthritis. What joints are affected most, Clive?
For me personally, it's like the last 4 vertebrae in my kind of lumbar spine, and then both of my SI joints. So both sides of my hip, pelvis, both my wrists, both my ankles, and then sometimes my like right collarbone. But I've broken this several times, so. Not too surprising on that one.
So it is kind of old injuries then that have re-inflamed.
Yeah, and that's what's so weird is I've broken my right wrist. I've really severely sprained my left wrist. I've torn the ligaments in both ankles. I've messed up my SI joint. I've had all these different injuries over the years, but it just brought all of them back. And it almost feels like when I wake up, I'm just re-broken. And I haven't, it's been years since that happened. So it's not like I'm in constant pain normally before this vaccine. No. I was totally normal, functional, and kind of a go-getter. And then just since this happened, I've just been, I just feel super weak and worthless, which is hard to feel because I'm one of those guys that wants to like do things and help and be active. Yeah.
Well, I can understand that, but of course your worth is not determined by what you can do. Your worth is determined by who you are. But I know how you feel. You want to get stuff done, don't you?
Yeah. And I will say that this whole thing has been like such a great learning experience. For one, just understanding more about how the body works, and then for two, just really understanding how much there is a need for support groups. And that's been really interesting for me. Is I've had a lot of people message me even after my last YouTube video. And one guy, he's like in his 20s, and he told me, hey, I have all the same symptoms. I've been dealing with this for 6 weeks, and I'm scared to tell my family because I don't want them to disown me. Because, they're very big believers in the vaccine. And that's kind of what was hard is like my mom was very pro-vaccine, and, we got it. And when I was telling her at first, she almost was kind of like, I don't really believe that this is happening to you. And then as it's developed, she's like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening to so many other people. So like I said, that's why I just kind of took a break and waited. So this happened. My big reaction was early July, and then I waited a few months to say anything really, just because I figured nothing was going to age well. And also the understanding of this being an issue has been getting more and more uncovered,
Yeah. And the other thing I think is if there's any possibility of this inflammatory reaction, I think it's quite important not to exercise. And that's kind of one of the messages we want to get out. You only start exercising when a doctor tells you can, or preferably a cardiologist tells you can start exercising again, because until then there's a greater risk if people are exercising when they have heart inflammation. We don't want to be doing that. Now, I want to talk about these support groups in a minute, Gav, but before we do that, you mentioned this metallic taste in the mouth. Now, how long after the vaccine was put in your arm did you get a metallic taste in your mouth?
So I had a slight metallic taste almost within 30 seconds of administration of the vaccine, and then they tell you to hang out around the store. We did it at a pharmacy, and they told me to hang out for 15 minutes, and it was kind of present for that whole entire 15-minute period, and even later into the day. So about 2-3 hours later, I still had this lingering things, and I was actually trying to like chase it down with different drinks. I was like, oh man, this is so weird that I'm feeling this. But like I said, I asked them if this was normal. They said, no, I haven't really heard of that much. And then now talking to a few other injured people, they've had similar experiences as well. And so like you said in your video about aspiration, I don't know if maybe that's a sign that they really did just hit a blood vessel or artery or vein and injected it into my circular system,
I mean, the fact that a clinician doesn't realize that a metallic taste in the mouth could be a sign of an inadvertent intravascular administration concerns me. Yeah. Because what happens is if the vaccine goes into your muscle, then it stays in your muscle. And it's going to take, from an intramuscular injection, it's going to take half an hour to be systemically absorbed at all, or much longer than that. But if it goes into a vessel, you get a metallic taste straight away. Now, this has happened to me many times when I've been giving intravenous injections at work. When you need to be giving intravenous injections, people often say particular antibiotics, for example, or vitamin preparations. They can say, oh, I can taste that. That happens, like, as you say, about 20 seconds after the injection. So the fact that you could taste that straight away, to me, is very suspicious of them inadvertently giving that into a blood vessel. The only other thing I can think of which will cause a reaction in the mouth straight away is an allergic reaction. Did you have any other features of an allergic reaction? Did you go red? Were you itchy? Did you go dizzy at the time?
No, I had no other features of it. And like I kind of said earlier, on the first dose, I developed a sore arm a couple days later, and I was like, oh man, this is kind of gnarly actually. And then the second time I was like, oh, I feel great. I'm totally fine. And April, my girlfriend, she had the sore arm. It's kind of like, oh man, it's really getting me the second time. And I was like, I don't feel it at all. So I thought I handled it really well, but maybe they just injected it into my vein.
Well, it's certainly possible. I mean, so basically you're having the inflammatory reaction in your heart and your joints instead of in your arm, which of course is where you prefer to have it. So I think that really is suspicious that part of the reason that you have this problem is that vaccine could have been given into a blood vessel.
Yeah, and I
don't think we'll ever know, but I think it's possible.
Yeah, I shared your video on aspiration on my Instagram page, and I had about 10 to 12 nurses kind of message me and go, oh my God, I've been taught this my whole life and I don't know why we're not doing it. I didn't even think about that. And this is so helpful. Please, like, thank you so much for sharing this info. I'll pass it along. And so I had all these people reach out and go, yeah, I know to do this. Why am I not doing this? You know, like, why are they saying to not do this? So it was kind of interesting.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing your suffering with us, Guy. It's a brave thing to do.
Yeah, and it was weird because one nurse told me, you know, hey, I've never seen someone do an aspiration on an intramuscular injection. He's like, it just doesn't really make sense. And I was like, well, have you ever given an mRNA injection before? You know, like this is the first time that these have been really around. So maybe it's
that's right. These are microparticulates. Even the adenovirus vector vaccines and the messenger RNA vaccines. By definition, the messenger RNA vaccines have to be given in like a little droplet, so it gets into the cells, and that is a microparticulate, and that gets into the circulation, and we know that can cause inflammatory problems. So I really am suspicious that this was at least part of the reason that you've had this appalling problem.
Yeah.
Now, go ahead, Carl. Yeah.
Oh no, I was just about to listen.
Yeah. So tell us about this event that's coming up in Washington.
Yeah, so it was actually really a cool opportunity came out of sharing my story on YouTube, which, like you said, is very scary, especially in the time of censorship right now. And so I tried to be very neutral with my story and just say my personal facts of what happened to me.
Yes.
And a woman who is working with a group called react19.org, they are working directly with the FDA and the NIH on vaccine injury, and they've been working with them. She was actually, Brianne, the lady who runs this, she was injured in December or November of 2020. She was one of the first clinical trial patients. And so she was injured, and she was one of the first injured people in America. And so she's been working on this for, almost a full year now. And the FDA and NIH have had studies saying that this is possible reaction since December of 2020. And so there's really this big push to kind of, hey, please acknowledge that this is an actual thing, because for one, it's hard when you are someone affected and the doctors don't even know that this is a thing.
Sure.
Like what happened to me, they just sent me on my way. And for two, the only thing they're actually acknowledging
Нет, не надо. Нет, не надо. Нет, не надо.